Hey guys! Happy New Year! Today I am doing my top 10 books of 2016. Normally I would do like my top 16 books of 2016 because that's like how I've done it like in 2015 and 2014. But every year it just keeps getting more and more, and then I'm just gonna have to have more and more good books to put on the list. So I decided to do top 10, also because I only read 26 books this year, so I definitely did not read 16 that should have been on this list. And this list isn't only books that came out this year, it's books that I read for the first time this year. And yeah, let's just get started. So coming in at number 10 is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I read this for the BooksTeaLozzi, which was so much fun. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought that this book was so funny. And this is about a boy named Greg, and he's not a great person. He doesn't have many feelings. And him and his friend Earl are really into like movie making, but they don't let anyone watch the movies because they don't think that they're good. And then there's this girl, I think her name is Rachel, but I really can't remember. And she has cancer. Greg's mom like makes him befriend her. At first he's like all about himself, but you know, things start to change, and yeah, it's really good. It's so funny, and I would definitely recommend it. Number 9 on my list is Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac by Gabrielle Zevin, and this is another book that I read for BooksTeaLozzi, and I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. This is a book that's been on my list for a really long time. It's one of the first books that BookTube made me want to read. It's about this girl who falls at school and she hits her head on the stairs and she becomes an amnesiac and she can't remember the last few years of her life. There's a boy that rides in the ambulance with her to the hospital, and she like assumes that it's her boyfriend, but he's not, but she's really intrigued by him, and yeah, it's really interesting. Coming in at number 8 is A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. I don't have the book with me because it is lent out. This was my first Sandy Hall book and I really enjoyed it. It's like a cute contemporary, and those are always my favorites, and this book has I think 12 different perspectives, but neither perspective is the boy or the girl that are falling in love in the book, and some of the perspectives are even like a bench and a squirrel, and it's so much fun, and it's set in college, so I feel like if you really liked Fangirl, that this is one that you would like. And yeah, it had Glee references in it, which is the way to my heart, and I just remember that it really made me want to eat Chinese food when I read it. Coming in at number 7 is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, another one that I wanted to read for a really long time. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars. This one's a little bit different because it's not really based on a romantic relationship, it's more about these two best friends. One of them is like really adventurous and the other one is not at all. The girl that is more adventurous, I think her name was Sloane, so she leaves without telling her friend, but leaves her a list of all these things that she has to do that will make Emily more adventurous and just like get her out of her comfort zone, and she does end up meeting a boy along the way of doing this list, and it's really a lot of fun. Coming in at number 6 is The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And this one is about a girl that has to fly out to London for her father's wedding, and she's like really upset about it because she doesn't agree with him getting married, but she ends up meeting a really cute British boy in the airport, and they end up sitting next to each other, and they have like that long flight to get to know each other, and I really enjoyed it. It's also becoming a movie. I'm really excited. It has Haley Steinfeld in it, and I really like her, and then Robert Sheehan, who played Simon in the Mortal Instruments movie. Coming in at number 5 is This Modern Love by Will Derbyshire. This is a little bit different than all the other books on this list because it is nonfiction, which I don't normally read, but I do really like this book. Will Derbyshire is one of my favorite YouTubers, and I obviously had to pick up his book and support it because my favorite YouTuber writing a book is like perfect for me. Basically, this book is letters. He would give out prompts about love and people would write in letters. So there's the beginning where he asks questions about like having crushes, the middle which is questions about being in love, and then the end which is questions about breaking up. And yeah, there's some really beautiful letters in here. I do have a full review for this. I'll link it down below so that you guys can go check it out. I'll also link Will down below so you can go check out his videos because he's wonderful. Coming in at number 4 is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. Again, I love this cover. It's just so summery and pretty. Another contemporary. This is about a girl named Samantha, and she lives with her mom and her sister, I believe, and they're like a very clean family, very calm. And then next door are the Garretts, and they have like 8 children or something, a lot of kids, and their house is always messy, but they're always having a lot of fun. So Samantha likes to watch them because she's very interested in them, but her mother hates them. She ends up meeting one of the Garrett boys, and she spends a lot of time at the Garrett's house, and yeah, it's wonderful. Obviously, it's in my top 5. Coming in at number 3 is The One by Kiera Cass, and this is the first book that I read in 2016. The first 2 books in the series were on my top 15 books of 2015 last year. I love the series. It is so good. I had to include this again because I just loved it, and I really did like this last book a lot. And basically this series is The Hunger Games meets The Bachelor. It is set in a dystopian society where there's a king and a queen, and then the prince has 35 girls, I think, from all around the country come and compete to be the new princess, and it's super fun. Coming in at number 2 is the Mara Dyer books. I have not read the last book, but these two are in at number 2. These are quite a recent read for me, but I really did love them. They're another one that I've been wanting to read forever. I feel like Mara Dyer has been on my list for so long and I've finally gotten to it. And these are super mysterious and just intriguing. And it's about this girl named Mara, and something has happened to her. She wakes up in a hospital. She doesn't remember what's happened, and she also starts like seeing things, and she doesn't know if what she's seeing is real or if she has psychosis. And yeah, it's super good, and you're in it with her, like trying to figure out what happened and trying to figure out what's real and what's not. There's also a wonderful romance between Mara and Noah Shaw. Noah Shaw is like my bae, honestly, making it up to #1 book boyfriend of all time. That's how good he is. These books are so good and you should definitely read them. And coming in at number 1 is Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I adored this book. It's about a girl named Maddie, and she has bubble boy syndrome. I can't remember what the actual term is, but basically she's allergic to anything and everything. She doesn't know what will set her off, so she like can't leave her house, and you know, her house has like regulated air and everything, and only certain people can come in. Really, she only sees her mother and her nurse. Then one day a family moves in next door and Maddie is watching them out of the window. The boy and her kind of start to communicate through the window. I kind of was a little bit disappointed in the ending, I will admit that, like it's just a tiny bit, but I still absolutely loved it. I would definitely highly suggest that you pick it up. So those are my top 10 books of 2016. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you've read any of these books and what you've thought of them. Also, leave me a comment down below and let me know what your favorite book of 2016 is so that I can add it to my TBR. And yeah, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!